Hello! Thanks for joining me for episode 2 of this video, and I have a very big apology to make. If you look down here, you'll notice that it says level 20, and there's a very good reason for that. And the reason is this: when I recorded the video for the second half of Act 1, I did not actually get any sound. I didn't get any sound from the microphone, I didn't get any sound from the game. I don't know what happened. I'm really sorry about that. I only noticed this after I started editing it and was wondering where the heck the sound was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down all of the major steps that I did together. You've seen me go, if you've been watching the other videos, you've seen me go through the second half of Act 1 many times. I didn't do much that was very different at all. There's only a couple of things that happened that were special when it comes to gear, and I'll show you that right now. So the first thing that's special that happens when it comes to gear is you'll notice I'm no longer running with the slith tongue. I had the slith tongue thing before. I'll have a picture of it show up on the screen, but I no longer have that. I instead have this thing. And this was something that I actually crafted from the blacksmith. And the way that you do that is, what ended up happening in the last video was I wanted to demonstrate this is something that you can do if you don't get a good MI, and then he ended up crafting me something fantastic. So what you do if you want to actually craft a weapon that helps you with your magic damage type is you go here and you type in implement, and you will get all of these different things. So these are different implements that you can make. This is chaos damage, aether, acid, cold, fire, all the different kinds of damage you can get. So I asked him to make me a bunch, and it only costs a couple of scrap to do it, and I'll just demonstrate it right now. So you just 2 scrap and then a little bit of not ISK. Sorry, I'm thinking like EVE Online. A couple of bits here, and you just press the button and he makes stuff for you. And every now and then, he's not doing it now. Okay, here we go. Every now and then he makes something that's a green item, and the green items are usually, not always, but usually better than the yellow ones. So yeah, like if you look at this one here, this one's actually quite bad. It's 7% acid and 9% poison. It's really not all that great. This one here is 32, 36, and 42, so it's actually much better stats. I would use this one instead of this one. This is kind of poor, and this one's okay too. Yeah, this one's not bad. So he'll make these things, and anyway he ended up making me one of these, and the stats on it were pretty good, 36 and 47% for acid and poison respectively. So I thought that's great, I'll just use that. So I switched over to that item. Let me sell these off just so they're no longer in the stash. The second thing that I got was this. Now this was a drop. It's a monster infrequent. However, monster infrequents have a really good chance to drop. Usually in a run, you'll have it drop like maybe 3 or 4 times over the course of the entire game, and just by going through all the zones that you have to go through anyway. And this is good because if you look here, it gives me +3 to Dreeg's Evil Eye, 36 weapon damage to Dreeg's Evil Eye, and then it's got acid and poison damage, and it also has some vitality as well. The vitality is less important, although it does help a little bit with some of the other abilities, but the most important thing is the +3 to Dreeg's Evil Eye. Now, if for whatever reason it doesn't drop for you, then you might want to check out your blacksmith, because you may have gotten the recipe for something called the Occult Horn. So where's that one at? Oh, it's over here. Okay, so this is the Occult Horn, and this one, you can start using it at level 15 if you got the recipe. You see it gives you vitality and poison damage, and it also gives you +2 to Dreeg's Evil Eye. Plus it gives a poison bolt proccing attack, and that attack gives you like 1,000 poison damage over 5 seconds. So it's quite useful. So if for whatever reason this thing doesn't drop, then you can manufacture this thing. Everything else is fairly standard. You saw me get this and this in the first half of Act 1, and the rest of this was all just gear drops, just like random gear drops, and so we had to sort it out the way that we did all the other times. The next thing is I'm going to show you what happened when it comes to the devotions. So with the devotions, there's 2 things I got to show you. First, I was able to finish this devotion, and I got something called Guardian's Gaze, and you can put this on the Bloody Pox. And this is great. I'll do a very brief run through so you can see what the effect of it is. But Bloody Pox, because it spreads, every single one of those people that it hits represents a different chance on attack. And so by doing Bloody Pox on a mob of enemies, virtually guarantees that you'll proc this thing at least once or twice, and you get this eye that circles you. And I'll show you that so you can see it. So we earned our way up to here, and the next thing that we ran into an issue where I wanted to use, I wanted to get into these devotions here because I'm low on resistances. Like if you look here, you'll notice like my bleeding resistance is low, and everything else, like my aether resistance is great, but everything, these are okay for the time being. But this is like 0. That's not acceptable for going into Act 2, and this could be a little bit higher. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go into these. Skill points. Sorry, these devotion points here. Now I'm going to go up here and demonstrate. There's a technique that I used in order to be able to get a point in here right away, and it was this. In order to do it, I have to undo what I just did in the last video. Incidentally, this explanation video where I explain everything that I did it once previously, but for whatever reason it was on the bad microphone, so this is the second time I'm doing this. Apologies. I'm not doing a very good job today. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refund this point here. Now, just ignore that for a second, because if you remember, oh, you won't remember because you weren't there, but this was the setup that I had. So I had a green point that I used to get into this thing here. When you put your green point in, you have access to all of these. So I had to use that to get into here. And then I had one extra point, so I put it into the yellow. Now, this was where I was at the end of the last video, and there was a thing that I was going to do at the end of the last video that I didn't do, but I did in the first explanation video, but then that got scuffed. Basically, there's a weird sort of finicky technique that you can use in order to refund some of these starter points, and in fact, you can refund all sorts of devotion points to take advantage of this technique. Here's a basic idea. I want to get into this tree here. I have this point here. I don't actually need this point anymore. Because of the fact that I put this 1 point in, that gave me access to this thing, but this thing also gives you 3 points, leaving you with 4. So what you can do at this point is you can actually refund this point, and then you go down to 3, but that 3 still gives you access to this devotion. It's a weird sort of recursive thing, but it ends up making sense. And if you end up playing this game to play with some of the more advanced build guides that you play down the road, some of the more advanced ones will require this kind of respecking, where you use this point to get into a devotion, use this devotion to get into a later devotion, but then that later devotion now sustains itself so you can refund points from earlier on. That's complicated. I don't want to get into that, and I don't like doing that for any of this beginner stuff because that's fairly advanced. However, what I can do is I can show you how to refund a point, and I'll show you that it works so that you might want to do it for yourself at some point. So I have this point here, and I have these points here. Now these ones give me 3. The 3 can include the 1 to get into it, so what that means is I can refund this point. Hopefully that makes sense. All you have to do that is you go into the devotion thing, and you press this, you hover over it, and you see that it costs you 25 iron bits plus 1 aether crystal. So you do have to spend an aether crystal in order to do this. But, you know, if you've got a bunch of aether crystals, it's fine. So you refund that, and you can see that I still have this devotion here, and it's still available to me. I would not be able to do that. I'll show you when it doesn't work. So if I go here, I can now spend this point to get into here. Now, if you look here, this one gives me this devotion point, constellation, when I finish it, will give me 5 points. But it hasn't given me the 5 points yet. So even though I've got this one here, I can't refund this one here, or at least in theory I can't. Let me just make sure. Yeah, see, I need this point here in order to get this one. But when I finish this one, I can refund that point because I need yellow to get into this constellation, but then this constellation itself gives you yellow. So it's a little bit weird. It's kind of cool, in a sense that it allows for some neat things on this, on the devotion tree, or the devotion page. But anyway, it's something to think about. So yeah, that's a thing that you can do in case you want to remap some earlier devotions in order to get into some like more advanced constellations. All right, I want to show you the actual skill, the Guardian's Gaze, that gets procced. And then after that, I am going to fight Warden Krieg, just so you can see that this build here actually handles Warden Krieg pretty well. So I'm going to spread bloody pox, and you see that eye that's floating? Now I've got 2 eyes. I've got 3 eyes floating around me, and these eyes are neat. They do damage as they go through people. You'll notice that the more people I fight, the more people I put bloody pox on, the more I get the eyes circling around me, like this. You see as it spreads, I'm just getting more and more, and this is what it does. It just basically goes through people. And it's just kind of a cool thing. Now, I don't want to over-level myself, so I am not going to... I'm going to wait for this doorway to clean up. I'm going to show you... In fact, I might show you this on the side as I'm playing through this thing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm waiting for these guys to be done so that they're no longer blocking the door. Just kill them with the eyes there. Okay, now I am not going to engage any more enemies unless I absolutely have to. I'm going to skip all of these guys because I don't want to level up and change the setup that I had before I originally fought Warden Krieg. Now, when I got to Warden Krieg, I was level 20, which was good because it gave me this armor here. It gave me that thing there, which is a very, very good piece of armor. Oop. Ow. Leave me alone. It's a good piece of armor to have. And I think I would have been okay without it, but it was nice to have it because of the extra aether resistance. All right, I'm getting issues here. I'm getting path blocked. Come on, get out of the way. Yeah, you have to be careful about doing what I'm doing because yeah, if I haven't shown it to you yet, I'll show it to you now. It is possible to get creep blocked. I got creep blocked really, really hard. Okay. As we continue on through here, we'll just get to the Warden Creek fight. We're not even going to fight the minor boss that appears just before it. Just going to skip right to the end of it. I may have to kill some guys here so I don't get creep blocked again. Okay. Hopefully he does not follow me in. It would be very, very annoying if he did. Okay, the door is closed. Okay. Ooh, ooh.
And when I'm done with you, I will crush your friends.
Come on, stomp. Go for the missiles. All right. Charge me. And you notice the poison is ticking down on him right now, so there you go. Ta-da! Well, anyway, this build, all this stuff that I'm wearing right now is largely the same stuff that I was wearing when I fought him originally. Just so you know that there wasn't any major difference in between this build that I showed you in this video, where I'm like farming him now for the 3rd time, and when I actually beat him the first time. And it's basically the same thing. You keep your distance, you apply your poison, and you let the poison tick down. And that's really it. I got hit early on by a Sundering Strike, which was poorly done by me. So don't do that. But otherwise it's fairly straightforward. Okay, so I've been going for about 15 minutes now, so I'm going to stop. Apologies again for not showing you all of the second half of Act 1. If you look at any of the other series, you could see what I did then, and it's not really all that different. There's 3 devotion points that you can get. Is it 3 or 2? I think there's one in the cellar, there's one outside there. Yeah, there should be 3. There's 3 that you can get, so you need to get those 3, and then that'll allow you to get to this devotion skill, which you apply to your bloody pox, and then that's it. You're done. Okay, that's enough of that. Sorry again for the screw up, and hopefully that won't happen again in this series. Okay, goodbye.